Welcome. Welcome to the 40 portal, babe. I'm Catherine Zach. I'm your host. We're here. I am so excited about today's episode. I feel like it's hitting at a really potent moment for me, maybe for you, maybe for the universe. Um, It's funny, I recorded so many of these episodes, like every episode you've heard up until this point, except for last week's with Florida's, which if you haven't come back and listened to that, I literally recorded it as I was getting my hair chopped off and colored about a month and a half ago. It's such a good episode, but every other episode that you've heard so far has been or was recorded much earlier this year in 2026. They were recorded in like a crazy intense literal portal moment of a few weeks where I think I recorded a dozen episodes in 2 weeks, and it was such a fun, potent time, but it's funny too because I have to kinda be honest about something. I didn't quite know what this would become. I still don't know if I know what the 40 portal is going to become, but I love where we are. I love where we are. And it's cool to listen back to today's episode. I have a phenomenal guest. The stuff she talks about, what she shares, it's so good. It's so resonant. I can't wait for you to hear her words. I can't wait for you to hear Amber's words. But there's a moment in this episode where I talk about what I think is like the working thesis of the 40 portal, which is that passing through the portal of 40, of turning 40, of being in your 40s, of entering midlife is perhaps one of the most powerful, potent, creative, vivifying, strong, sexy, and probably terrifying. And this last part is important, I think. One of the most terrifying things in the universe is a woman who has like gone through this portal. And I don't know that it maps on completely chronologically to 40. And I also think you can just pass by the doorway of that portal and keep going without going through. I think that happens for some folks. But just to hear myself like kind of creatively iterating on that thesis as I've listened to the last, I think this is episode 14 that has come out, as I've listened to the women on this podcast and listened to your feedback and keep reading your submissions, which by the way, I have a very specific ask for you in a moment. I'm more convinced of this working thesis than ever. And like confession, ha ha ha. To me, this concept of the 40 portal at first was just this like really sexy and empowering thing. And ha ha ha, lol. I just didn't realize that I would actually have to like whoomph, go through the portal myself. Like I was like, maybe I'll just talk about it. It feels fun. It feels fresh. I'm gonna wear a green dress to my party and like have women contribute their voices and story tell and explore archetypes and have fun conversations on the podcast. But I have to say, in the background of the last several months, like call it 6, call it 7 months, probably the last 10 months of being 40, I've been going through this like real process of transmutation in my life, like this. And it's the question of the prompt, like what have you learned and earned and burned, and it like, and also churned, I'll add that verb into it. The whole time, this thing I've been grappling with in the background, I'll talk about it later, I'll talk about it at some point. And now I've kind of like popped out on at least part of the other side of that. And boy, man, woman, do I feel different. I even think I look different. I'm like watching these episodes that I recorded back in January and February. I'm like, girl, you look so tired. And I say that with love to myself. But yeah, when you're in it, you're in it. And I'm just laughing these days because I feel like I have kind of popped up from being pummeled by the wave of the 40 portal. And I'm like, cool, I survived. Whoa, here we are. And yes, like this grit has given me so much of that, like, powerful terror that I was, like, thinking about as the hypothesis, and I love it, and I have to tell you, though, the only way through is fucking through. That's it. Like, you can't just have a podcast called this and be like, "Here I am. Yeah, okay, so one day we'll talk about that, but not today. Today, we're gonna let Amber's words lead the way.